Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm going to wait for a few of you to jump on before we start. And you can also watch this live on replay. Just going to give my camera a bit of oh yeah. Oh, I thought that was better, but then it just, the screen. It must be the screen. I'm going to blame it on the weather. It looks a bit cloudy my end. So I'm just going to wait for a few of you to jump on. I hope everybody is well. I hope you've all had an amazing week. And also, if you do watch this on replay, then hashtag replay. I'm just going to wait for those numbers to go up slightly, ladies, and then I will be rebooting the live so I can see all of your comments. When I do reboot the live, it will pause for a split second. So don't go nowhere. Do not go nowhere. Just hang in there and it will come back on. It's just a thing that Facebook does, unfortunately. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Right, I'm going to reboot the live now. Hello, ladies. Yeah, I thought that, Lyndon. It's the sun. I have turned the blinds the other way, but it made no difference whatsoever. But then I thought it had sorted itself out, but it's not. It hasn't. So it is what it is. What a beautiful day it has been today. Just out of my goddess bath. I love that. Absolutely love that. So ladies, do comment below. Let me know where you are listening in from. Let me know how everybody is feeling as well. I hope everybody has had an amazing week and you're all looking forward to the weekend. Hello ladies, I can see some more of you jumping on. It only ever shows me like 8 people on the live, but I do know that there's more of you on than that because I can see your comments below. So Facebook's doing its normal little tricks. It never shows you exactly who is on the live with you. So ladies, I know there's quite a few of you on the live tonight that is a VIP member. And I can see that there are some of you on that aren't VIP members. So I just want to know, how many of you implement manifestation in your daily life? Because manifestation, the universal laws are working for us 24/7. But how many of you are actually aware of that and are implementing manifestation tools in your life on a daily basis? I want you to comment below and let me know. And if you're a VIP, comment below VIP. If you're a newbie to the Empower Her Manifestation Mentor Group, right, newbie. I love that, Lyndon. How amazing is that? Absolutely amazing. So we want to be changing that, Sue. We want to be changing that. So really, ladies, when it comes to manifestation, to get the best out of your journey, it's important that it is part of your daily routine. And I know sometimes that can sound a little bit like daunting, like, oh my gosh, well, what am I going to have to do daily? You know, there's not enough hours in the day. This is what we tell ourselves. There's not enough hours in the day for me to be adding something else into my life. But when you think about the amount of time that you waste sitting there thinking negative thoughts, okay, worrying, allowing yourself to be filled with doubt, fear, the amount of time that you spend scrolling, maybe either on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, watching things, reading things that serve you no purpose whatsoever. It's just something that has become a habitual habit in your life, and something that you just now do without even thinking about it. You have more than enough time to start implementing manifestation and universal law tools in your life to transform your life. Transformation, some of you may have seen the post that I did today. Transformation is not created by doing something once. It's repetitive, okay? When you do something over and over and over, it becomes a subconscious belief. And once you have a subconscious belief, your body then moves in alignment. And where a lot of people struggle on their manifestation journey is consciously they know what they want. So I want you all to comment below. How many of you know what you want? How many of you know what it is you desire? And when I'm talking about wants and desires, it can be absolutely anything, ladies. Do not limit yourself. You know, it could be a new relationship. It could be a new home. It could be a new job. It could be working for yourself. It could be success. It could be more clients. It could be a family. It could be a holiday home. It could be new furniture. It could be absolutely anything. And you can have multiple wants as well. We actually limit ourselves because we have been programmed that wanting more is greedy. We don't really put out there exactly what it is that we desire, because sometimes we can feel that element of guilt and like it's wrong to want all of this. It's wrong to ask for this. Okay. And that is so far from the truth. It really isn't. Yes, I use the tools. Definitely need to do more. Remove the non-productive actions 100%. I know exactly what I want in my life. I know exactly what I desire. Okay, so those of you that know exactly what you desire, are you embodying that? And what I mean by that, if you know exactly what it is that you desire, are you in alignment with your desire where you are taking aligned action to create the reality that you are wanting to manifest? Because where a lot of people get confused with manifestation, and I think, you know, there's different, you know, reels and different things that go around about manifestation. And it sounds very easy in the fact that, you know, you make a wish when you see 1111, you know, ask, receive, you know, ask, believe, receive. You make a vision board and you kind of just sit there plodding along in life, waiting for things to happen. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work like that. Now, although making a vision board is an amazing tool and it really does help with the focus, it does help you, you know, create that alignment. It's really good to have a vision board to wake up every single day and look at that vision board and remind yourself on a daily basis what you are working towards. But action is one of the main things. When you think of law of attraction, it's got the word action in there, and there is a reason for that. But so many people do not take the aligned action. And people that are going around in circles on their manifestation journey might feel that you're taking action, but you're probably taking out of alignment action where subconsciously you don't actually believe that you are going to create the life you desire, or you're going to manifest what it is that you want. And I want you to be really honest with me here. Pull the monkey faces below if you know deep down there is that doubt that you are going to manifest what it is that you are wanting to create. I want you to be really honest with me, because tonight is about being real and raw. Okay, and we're very good at lying to ourselves. We do it all the time. Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. But really, we are struggling. Okay, and I want you to be really honest with me. Be real and raw, because we're getting ready now. Well, we've gone into the second part of this year, and we want to make this second part of the year the best so far. We really do. We don't want to be getting to the end of the year and kind of looking, and at the beginning of the year setting new goal, you know, the same goals that you set at the beginning of this year, because you didn't take that action, because you weren't taking the aligned action, because you didn't change your habitual habits. Okay, because you weren't focused. And this is the other thing that I'm going to talk about tonight as well. I'm just going to read some of these comments, ladies. I love that, Georgia. That is absolutely amazing. And it's when when you're feeling like that, okay, when you're actually feeling like life is full of fun at the moment, this is the best time to manifest as well, okay? Because what a lot of people can do on their manifestation journey, and I want people to be really honest with me here if you've ever done this, You have a goal, you have a desire, you manifest it, and you're taking that aligned action. You're doing everything you can because this is what you want to create. And then once you've got it, you stop working towards bigger goals. You stop wanting to create because you start to settle. Now, some of you may have heard of Napoleon Hill, and one of the things he always used to say, and I love this, I actually love this saying, never be completely satisfied. Always be dissatisfied. You can be happy with what you've got, but when you're not satisfied, that will always keep the creator in you to keep going, thriving to manifest more, create more. Okay, and it's when sometimes what we do is we start to settle because we're like, oh, I'm quite happy with what I've got now, so I'm just going to, you know, make do with what I've got. I'm quite happy where I am right now in life. But the thing is, 2 years down the line, you might be really bored of that life, and then you'll feel like you're plodding along again. And this is why it's always important to make sure that when we manifest a goal or a desire, we create something else that we are wanting to manifest and also desire. The more you have, the bigger impact you're going to be able to have on people around you. And I know there's probably a lot of you that are watching me live at the moment that also are building businesses for yourself because you want to help other people on their journey. So you've got to remember that the more you create, the more you're going to be able to help people. Those of you that maybe aren't on a journey of wanting to work for yourselves and help other people, the more you have, the more you're going to be able to help your loved ones and your family. So the more we have, the more we're actually able to give. Does that make sense? How many of you do sometimes feel a little bit icky still about asking for more? Just out of interest, how many of you sometimes feel a little bit uncomfortable with asking for more? Like, this is too much. This is too big. I love that, Kelly. I love that. And would you say, Lyndon, since doing the shift into results, you felt bigger shifts? Just out of interest. Okay, so this is something that we want to remove that block, ladies. We want to start to understand and realize that you deserve everything that you desire. Everything. You know, sometimes you may see people that have got the things that you desire or living the life that you desire to live. And we can sometimes feel disheartened, like, why them, not me? Turn that into inspiration, not envy, where it's like, oh, feeling jealous of other people. Okay, inspiration. If they can do it, so can I. We were all born as creators, and it is actually our birthright to create the reality that we desire and the reality that you want. Some of you know my story because a lot of you are in the VIP Manifesting Academy and you've heard my story many a times. But before I was on this journey, when I first started my journey, I had a lack mindset and I can't mindset. I was riddled with limiting beliefs. I didn't believe in myself. I was plodding along, same shit, different day. I was in £20,000 worth of debt. I left school with no GCSEs. I had my first son at 17 years old, so I was a teen mum as well. And I was scared of the future. I remember literally thinking that, what can I do? You know, I have thrown my life away. I had thrown my life away because I didn't get the grades at school that, you know, you're meant to get these grades to get a really good job and you're meant to do this and you're meant to do that. And I didn't do any of it. And I remember being really scared of my future and just thinking like, you know, I've just got to plod along and make do with this shitty life. And I don't know if anyone else has experienced feeling like that. Do comment below. Toxic relationships, in and out of toxic relationships. What is wrong with me? You know, I'm going to be on my own for the rest of my life. It was, you know, there was times where I really felt sorry for myself, but when I hit my version of rock bottom and come out of a toxic relationship, I actually didn't want to be here anymore. And it was my spirit guides. I had recently before that started a Reiki journey, and I was working on energy healing and healing myself. And there was a shift within me, and I was connecting more and more to my spirit guides, which were giving me this amazing divine guidance. And at that moment, when I was at home at my version of rock bottom, where I was literally crying out at my table saying things need to change, This voice, as loud as anything, said to me, no, Jem, you need to change. And it was a massive light bulb moment. It was a massive wake up call, because I had constantly searched outside of me. You know, I thought if I met the perfect man, that was going to fix everything. If I just had more money, that would fix everything. If I just had a better job, if I just had this, or if I just had that, then it was going to fix things for me. But it was not going to change how I felt within, how I felt about myself. Lack of self-love. Didn't feel worthy, didn't feel good enough, didn't feel capable. So we have to also understand that going on a journey within is really important on our manifestation journey, because we have to create what we desire within first before it shows on the outside. And this is also where a lot of people struggle with manifesting extra abundance, because how many of you, I want you to be really honest with me right now, how many of you would like extra abundance? How many of you would like a bigger financial flow in the bank? Absolutely love that, Georgia. Amazing. Yes, especially with pricing things on the market still. Yeah, get that as well, Fiona. And I completely get that, because on my journey, ladies, for those of you that don't know me, so one of the first things when I got on my manifestation journey, I started to put out there I was going to have my own crystal shop. And I did. I manifested my own crystal shop. There's an amazing story behind that as well, because that crystal shop actually belonged to my grandfather that I'd never met. But from a child, I always said I was going to have my granddad's shop, because he actually had a greengrocer's, and I just had my heart set on I was going to be a greengrocer girl and really didn't have to worry about anything in life. And my granddad sold his shops when I was 17. So then that kind of dream went. It was like, well, what are you going to do now? Because you haven't got that to fall back on. You've got to go out in the real world and find a real job, and you're not going to have your granddad's shop. But when I got into working with the universal laws of manifestation, and I started scripting about my crystal shop, and I contacted an estate agents, and they said, we think we've got the perfect location for you. They sent me an email with this picture of this shop, and I had goosebumps from head to toe. I knew, even though I didn't, ladies, I was in 20 grand debt. I was on universal credits. I had no money whatsoever. I was living on around £87 a week, and I had no money even for the deposit. And I said yes to viewing it, because I just knew I was going to get this shop. And all of the money, even though some people also gifted me the money flowed in from in the most magical ways, different directions. And that money completely flowed in for me to get that shop. And one of the amazing things as well, because some of you may have heard the story of, you know, money just appearing. And this was also something that I was a little bit like, yeah, right, like that happens. Has anyone ever had that experience where money has just appeared? Because I tell you something now, it does happen. And especially when you have a belief so strong that nothing is going to get in your way from, you know, getting what it is that you desire. So on the day of me going to collect the shop keys, I had to pay deposit. And I got all of the deposit money, everything had been sent over. And when I turned up there to sign the paperwork, they said, oh, you need to pay a month's rent up front. But they hadn't said this before. No, there was like a deposit that had been given. So I thought that was included in the month's rent. So I'd got a bit confused. And when I'd gone in there, they were like, oh, we need that month's rent as well, month's rent up front. And I was a little bit like, oh my gosh. But I didn't want the estate agents to know I didn't have the money. And in my head straight away, I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to get this money from? Where am I going to get it? And it was £602. And I was like, where am I going to get this money from? And I could hear my guides in my head saying, go to the bank, go to the bank. Now I'm arguing at this point with my guides, because this was a Friday. I drew my money out. I drew my £87 out on Wednesday, like I did every single week. I would draw that £87 out, and by Friday it was gone. You know, I've got two little boys, so by Friday that was always gone. And I'm arguing with this voice, go to the bank. But I looked at the lady and I said, I'm just going to pop to the bank. I'll be back in 10 minutes. And I was thinking, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I don't even know what made me, what I do. It was that voice. It was so loud. It was so strong. I knew I had nothing in my bank. But this voice wouldn't stop. Go to the bank. Go to the bank. Go to the bank. So I went up to the bank, put my card in, and I had £602. Honestly, you couldn't make it up, in my account. I had to go in and draw it out because I needed the £2. So I then had to go in and, you know, sign for it. So I was queuing up and I was thinking, where did this money come from? Where did this money come from? And when I went up to the lady and was signing for it, I just said to her, can you tell me who paid that money in? And she said to me, it's your universal credit. She said, but it's really weird because it went in at 3 a.m. in the morning and they don't normally make payments at that time. Well, I don't even get that amount off of universal credit. I get my money paid weekly and it was £87 a week. So how all of a sudden universal credit had paid me £602 on the exact day that I needed that £602 and I was going to obviously be asked to pay a month's rent up front for my shop. And it was just so magical, excuse my language. It really was. And it's when you experience things like that that your belief then completely goes up tenfold, because I knew straight away, whether it was my spirit guides, whether it was my nan or my granddad, someone was floating around that office, they logged onto that computer and they made sure that that payment happened. And these things can happen, ladies, to each and every one of us. But it is important that we do have belief. It is important that we do have faith. How many of you struggle with belief and faith? Just out of interest, I want you to be honest. Just reading some of these comments as well. Because you are worthy of more abundance, okay? And like I say, I come from no money. I come from two parents that had a lack mindset. So I naturally also had a lack mindset. But once I changed that mindset, then the flow of abundance started to come in. And this can happen to each and every one of you. Just out of interest, I'm just going to ask you here, because I know quite a few VIP ladies are on the live at the moment. How many of you manifest your VIP membership every single month? So the universe basically pays it for you. I know it's only the price of a takeaway, but how many of you manifest that money just comes in? And this is how it works as well. I don't know if some of you see, there was a lady the other day, I haven't put this post up in the group yet, but one of the ladies that used to be in the academy, going back 3-4 years ago, she joined, she re-signed up to the academy about 3-4 days ago. She messaged me within 24 hours that she had then been, I don't know if it was her internet, broadband, it was something, but they'd given her a refund and they basically have reduced her bill by £15 a month. And she was just like, I'm blown away by this. I've literally signed up to the academy and now it's only costing me XYZ because I've had this refund, and I have also now had a reduction on one of my monthly bills. And this is how it works. And what we've got to understand as well, ladies, is one of the biggest blocks on our manifestation journey as well is not investing in ourselves. When we are worrying around abundance and we're saying things like, I can't afford that, worrying about where the money is going to come from, what this is doing is, we all have an aura. This is our energy field. And our energy field, our aura, is negotiating the terms of abundance with the universe and what we are going to attract. So if we are constantly worrying about money, thinking about where is it going to come from? How am I going to get this? How am I going to do that? Then what we are doing is we are actually pushing the abundance away from us. And like I say, one of the hardest things on our journey to start with is feel that you have it from within before you've received it. And this is something that I mastered on my journey, very early stages of my journey, where I just started to feel so rich from within, so abundant from within. I started to look at all of the things around me that were free. The beautiful sky, the sun, the smell of fresh air, the smell of cut grass, like the gratitude within me, and noticing all of these amazing things around me and starting to really appreciate the things that I did have in life. And then we start to create that shift. And when we start to create that shift, that's when things really start to happen. That's when we start to get into alignment and things really start to happen for us. How many of you, because this is another thing that we do have to be aware of on our journey, how many of you struggle with lack of motivation? I want you to be really honest. How many of you struggle with lack of motivation? I used to worry about my membership, but now nearly 3 years in, I know the universe always has my back and it comes in. I love that. Every month, brilliant. last year. My mum gave me a complete unexpected check. I love that. And this is the thing, it comes in so many different ways. I love that, Stevie. Absolutely love that. And I know some of you are actually signed up to the shift into wealth, and you're going to absolutely love that, because that really is going to create the shift within you. It really is. So what we have to understand, ladies, about motivation is lack of motivation is actually an excuse, because motivation, yes, it is a feeling, but it's not a choice. So we can feel motivated 1 minute and we can feel lack of motivation the next. And having lack of motivation can last. I mean, ladies, comment below. Comment below. How many of you experienced not feeling that motivation for like weeks, months, nearly just plodding along, just not feeling motivated? And this is the shitty thing about motivation, okay? Is that when you feel motivated, you feel fired up, you can get so much done, it feels absolutely great. But when you don't feel motivated, you plod along in a negative energy, frequency, vibration. This is having a massive now impact on what you are manifesting, because when it comes to the universal laws, energy, vibration and frequency needs to be high. Because if it's not, you're manifesting shit you don't want. And that's what we have to understand as well. When our vibration, when our frequency is low, we are manifesting the things that we don't want, not the things that we do want. And this is where self-discipline comes in, because we don't feel motivated. So what we do is we have a choice. We choose to take the action anyway. This is one of the biggest tests that you will ever go through, but mastering it is key. Because there is no point when you're feeling unmotivated to just choose, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway, but only do it once. Like I said to you, when it comes to your manifestation journey, it has to be repetitive. It's the only way it works. It doesn't work if you're just doing it willy-nilly. And I know there's lots of people out there that are like, oh, I used to have a client that used to message me, Gem, it's the new moon. What should I do to manifest? Like, there's no point just trying to manifest once a month. That is not going to work for you. And she used to say, manifestation doesn't work for me. No, because once a month you're sitting down and you're writing out your goals and you're sitting there visualizing what it is that you want. But for the rest of the 28 days in the month, you're worrying, you're plodding along, you're scrolling, you're moaning, your vibration's low, your frequency's low, you're living in fear, you're living in worry, you're living in lack, you're living in doubt. This is what needs to change. And one of the reasons I'm so passionate about what I do is because if I can do it, you can do it. And I mean that. If I can do it, you can do it. Every single one of us can completely transform our lives and manifest the life we desire. The only difference is if you're not, it's because you're not taking the action. You're not being consistent. You're not making the right choices. The people that are manifesting and succeeding on a manifestation journey, they're consistent, they're focused, they're making the right choices. They're taking the action. The ones that aren't are saying, oh, I just didn't feel motivated. There's not enough hours in the day. And what we have to remember is these are just actually excuses keeping us in a comfort zone. And our subconscious mind will give us plenty of excuses. It's not the right time. I don't feel ready. I don't have the right money. There's not enough hours in the day. I've got too much stuff on. I can't commit. I can't this. I can't that. They're just excuses, keeping you in the paradigm that you're living in at the moment, keeping you going around in circles, keeping you getting the same results over and over again. But that can all change by changing your paradigm, by shifting your vibration, by shifting your frequency. The thing is that what a lot of people don't understand as well is there's a lot of people, and I've been speaking about this recently as well, because we can get caught on what I call the healing loop. Okay, and this is just constantly working on one belief, moving to another belief, moving to another belief, moving to another belief, and you're on this healing loop. You're going from this age to that past life to this to that, and it's a constant healing. But actually, what all you need to do is create a new paradigm and shift your frequency, and that will change everything, absolutely everything. And I absolutely love healing modalities. I teach many different energy healing modalities, and they are so beneficial to us on the journey. But it's where the healing takes over, and you're constantly, because we can get into this habitual habit of constantly looking for something else to fix and not realizing it, that it's actually the constantly looking for something else to fix that is keeping you in the same cycle, keeping you in the same loop of going around and around and around and around, and not actually getting to where you desire to be and where you want to be. Just reading these comments, definitely felt like that last few months, but I've given myself a good kick up the arse and definitely upped the motivation now. I love that. I love that. And this is the thing that we have to master. We have to master the focus. We have to master the self-discipline. And yes, I'm going to be honest with you ladies, transformation can be boring. It's repetitive, but it's bloody worth it. It is bloody worth it. And your future self will thank you in the end. Now, I want you to really ask yourself a question here. The person you desire to be, or the things that you desire to create, are you truly embodying that person? And what I mean by embodying, okay, because when we embody, we are in alignment, okay, our thoughts, our current thoughts, our frequency, our vibration, it is in alignment with what it is we desire and what it is that we are creating. And this is where a lot of people are struggling, because they have the desire, but nothing else is in alignment. They're not embodying the person they truly desire to be. They're not embodying what it is they are wanting to create. They're just wanting. And they're wanting from a lower vibration that is coming from doubt, lack, worry, fear. And then you feel like you're just going around in circles. When we change our paradigm, our entire world changes. So ladies, what I want you to do, you can either get involved on the live or you can go and grab yourself a pen, because scripting, I have been writing my future now since 2012. And there is not anything that I have not scripted about. I mean, honest to gosh, I've got a bookcase full of, I've been doing it since 2012. So you can imagine how many journals I have. And I always say to people, if you are not filling at least 2 journals a year, you're not scripting enough. You're not scripting enough. Now, when it comes to scripting, there is a right and wrong way of doing it. If we are scripting for something and as we're scripting it, we are not feeling those emotions. We're not feeling excited. We're riddled with the fear, worry and doubt. And that's what a lot of people can do. They can script, but they don't really believe. Okay. But even if you don't believe, continue to do it, because you will start to change that belief. You will start to change that belief. But where a lot of people go wrong with their scripting is they write things down like a bit like a shopping list. There's no detail. You have to go into detail with the universe and let the universe know exactly what it is that you want. And the more detail you go into, what happens is you energetically start to build an energetic connection with what it is that you desire and what it is that you are wanting to attract in your life. Okay, so you can get involved tonight on the live, and I will also, if you want, I can share these questions in the group or in the WhatsApp group, so you can go a little bit deeper with them. But I want you to answer this question. I want everybody to get involved tonight. Okay, what does your ideal life look like right now? So what does your ideal life look like? I want everyone to get involved. Do write down below, what is it your ideal life looks like? Scripting is something, and especially this way, this is something that I get my Academy ladies. We do this quite often in the VIP. And a lot of the VIP ladies find it really helps them on their journey, because when they're left to just do the scripting on their own, they're not writing it in the way that they do when there is a question. They go into so much more detail. The pen just flows. Honestly, it's amazing. And scripting this is why, I mean, one of the, some of you may have seen the Facebook ad for this masterclass was Rewrite Your Future. because we are writing our futures. We create our futures, and we can create our future also through scripting and writing, because that is also a way of shifting us into alignment. But when you have got somebody with the questions, giving you the questions, you get it done. It's easier to get done. And it is more in alignment. You will notice that when you're answering those questions, you start to really embody the feelings. Love that, ladies. Right, so I'm going to go on to the next question. How do you feel when you are fully aligned with your desires? How do you feel? I love how you've worded that, Lyndon. Amazing, Kelly. Keep them coming, ladies. I love that. And that's exactly how you should be feeling. The excitement, keen, happy, motivated. Okay. What steps can you take today to move closer to your desires? What steps can you take today? And this is the other thing about people. So some of you have heard me speak about a drifter and a builder. A builder, so a drifter, after this live will go and watch something on TV. A builder, after this live, will go and do something that is to do with creating. It could be to do with what you've just watched and listened to now. They will take action afterwards. They're not just going to sit down and put Netflix on, or sit down, make a cup of tea and just sit for the rest of the evening on the couch, or even if you're going outside because it's a beautiful day, but they will do something productive. And that is the difference between a drifter and a builder. A drifter drifts from one thing to another idea, another thought, but actually gets nothing done. A builder is consistent, focused, and they take aligned action. And we can all be a builder. We can all be a builder, ladies. Honestly. I've been doing now, I have been a manifestation mentor now coming up to, do you know what I always have, because you repeat it, don't you? And I'm always like, 7 years. No, it's not been 7 years, Jem. It's like 9 years now, 10 years nearly, that I have been an online manifestation mentor. And there was a lot of people when I first started my journey. And there was one lady that actually rejoined my academy and said to me, do you know what? When I first joined your academy, I actually thought there's no way she's going to stick at this. There's no way that she's just going to continue to do this. And she said, and you have. I'm so proud of you. You have. You've stuck at it and you're still doing it now. And it was one of the things actually that I promised my spirit guides when I thought I was going crazy with all of this, because you can sound a little bit like, you know, I'm now manifesting. Everyone's looking at you like, what are you talking about? And I remember saying to my spirit guides, if you give me a sign, I promise I will spend the rest of my life teaching the real secrets behind manifestation to as many people as I can. I will spend the rest of my life doing that. And I made that promise and I have stuck at it. Manifestation is mentoring and helping women change their life all over the world. And I've helped thousands of women since having my academy, thousands of women all over the world completely transform their lives, professional lives, personal lives. Okay. And it is so rewarding. It's my absolute passion. It really is. And watching people, seeing their growth, you honestly, I cannot put into words the feeling. I can't describe to you how amazing that feels. It's just out of this world. It really is. Okay, what beliefs do you need to release to embrace your desires fully? I love that, Lyndon. Amazing. Love that, Kim. I will be doing my nighttime journaling. I love that. Fiona, are you in that habit now of doing nighttime journaling as well? I love that. Absolutely love that. You know, gratitude really is key, ladies, as well. There's a lot of different ingredients when it comes to manifestation, and gratitude is really important. It's so important for us to be grateful for what we already have in order for us to receive more. And when I first started, before I started my journey, I wasn't grateful for the life I was living. I thought my life was shit. I had a why me mindset. Like, what did I do in a past life to deserve this in this life? Like, I must have been a really bad person. Like, why me? And I know a lot of people, how many of you have ever felt like that? You know, and it was then when I started to really practice gratitude that creates a shift. We cannot be asking for a better job or you know, a new car or a new house if we don't appreciate the one we already have. And I used to hate my home, and it was funny because I hated my home. I wanted to move, but when I started to then practice gratitude, I turned my home into a home. It didn't feel like a home before, and then I loved my home and I didn't want to move. So the question, Fiona, was, what beliefs do you need to release to embrace what you fully desire? The next question, ladies, is what do you need to become to attract what you desire? What do you need to become to attract what you desire? And this is something else that we have to be aware of, ladies. Who are you when no one is watching? Because the universe is always watching. The universe is always watching. So it is important that you are fully embodying who you desire to be and what it is you desire to create. And it doesn't have to be 24/7, but you need to start practicing that and feeling that. Like I've said before, you have to create it within to attract it in our reality. And what a lot of people can do is, in front of people, there's somebody else. And then, you know, when that live cuts off, or when they're not around certain people and they're at home and in their own space, they are a completely different person to what they are showing everybody else. The universe sees that, and that will show that you are very out of alignment with what it is you desire and what it is you're wanting to create. What positive affirmations can you use to reinforce your desires, ladies? What do you mean by Nix, Fiona? As in takes that energy. What we have to remember as well is we have to learn to become the masters of not allowing things outside of us to affect how we feel. So we have a choice with that. We have a choice with that. Because I used to, and especially in past relationships, you've made me feel like this, you've made me feel like that. When really they hadn't made me feel anything. I've chosen to feel like that. I've chosen to give my power away. So we have to be aware of that as well, where we are giving our power away and we are allowing somebody. And I promise you, you can, because I used to constantly give my power away and allow other people to take that energy. Does that make sense? And that vibration away from me, until I started to go, I'm not letting anybody, you know, ruin my dreams, my desires. I'm not letting anybody take from me what I am creating. So I'm placing the power back in my hands, and I'm not allowing anybody to make me feel something that I don't want to feel. I am in control of that. I am in control of my thoughts and my feelings. So when I am feeling, if something was to happen where I am maybe then starting to feel something, I'm like, I don't like this feeling. I'm getting rid of it. I'm choosing now to focus on something else that's going to raise my vibration, raise my frequency. And this, ladies, you know, I know some of you might say, but it's hard. It's only hard at the moment because you're not being repetitive with it. You have to use repetition. It's the only way. It's the only way. When you continue to do it over and over and over, it then becomes natural. It becomes natural. I do apologise. Odin has come through the door and he's now making noise under my chair, which you can probably all hear, giving himself a little pedicure, which he does very loudly. Anyone that has a French bulldog will know exactly what I'm talking about. How can you celebrate, okay? How will you, celebrate your achievements, big and small? Now, celebration is something. We should be celebrating our success all the time in our journey, no matter how big and small. Celebrate how far you've come, everything that you've gone through, everything that you have achieved, everything that you are going to achieve, okay? So it's important as well that we celebrate the things that we desire and things that we want, like we have already achieved them. That is a very important part of our manifestation journey as well, ladies. You know, celebrating like we already have what it is that we want. We already have what it is that we desire, okay? So how would you celebrate your big or small, okay? How will you celebrate what you have achieved? I want you to also think about what inspires you about your desires, because this is something else. Remembering your why. Why do your desires inspire you? Why do you want them? How are they going to change your life? What impact is it going to have on you when you've manifested that? What impact is it going to have on others? Last question. What would your life look like 1 year from now if you fully embraced your desires? What would your life look like one year from now if you fully embraced your desires? If you were consistent, if you took the aligned action, if you committed to your future self? And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They don't commit. They like the idea of creating something. They like the idea of manifesting that life they desire. But yet they're not doing what they need to do to create it. I said a couple of, I think it was a couple of months ago, my VIP to my ladies, how does it feel when someone makes a promise to you and then breaks it? How does that feel? It doesn't feel good, does it? So why do we constantly break promises to ourselves? We promise that we're going to change. We promise that we're going to stop certain things. We promise that we're going to do certain things, and we don't. We need to commit. We need to make that commitment to ourselves. We deserve ourselves to commit to ourselves and the future that we are creating. And honestly, in the end, your hard work will pay off. You will be so grateful. You will be living a completely different life to the life that you are living now. You really will. So ladies, I want you also to have a little bit of a think over this weekend of the habitual habits that you have that aren't serving you. And just write some of them down below. How many of you are in a habitual habit of just sitting there and doing nothing? Sitting there thinking about all the things that could go wrong in life, thinking about your past, worrying, doubt, fear, creating anxiety. How many of you sit there and play games on your phone? How many of you sit there and binge Netflix series and watch one after another? Another episode, then another episode. How many of you are addicted to just sitting and watching TV? That's how you chill. You know, you call that your chill time. But that's how I relax. That's how I chill. I want you to think of your habitual habits. How many of you are scrolling and just watching and reading stuff on Facebook? Some stuff that, and do you know what? I've been caught with this before many, many years ago, you know, when Facebook first came out and it was like a new thing, wasn't it? And I remember this post come up, someone's post, and there was like, God knows how many hundreds of comments on it. And I'm scrolling through all these comments now, reading what other people have said about, you know, what she's put on Facebook. Like, it was one of them posts where, like, I can't believe you put that on Facebook. But now I'm reading the comments. Like, I don't even know half of these people. Now I'm reading their comments. Like, we have to understand and realise the things that we are doing habitual on a daily basis that are serving us no purpose whatsoever. And all they're doing actually is keeping you a prisoner. They are keeping you on a lower vibration, and they are keeping you going around in circles, and they are stopping you from getting the results that you desire. So when we do say, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough hours in the day to start my development journey or to start my manifestation journey, I just wouldn't be able to fit it all in. We are lying to ourselves, because we find the time to do all of this other crap. And what we have to remember as well, ladies, is that we all get the same amount of hours in a day. The difference is some people are choosing to use those hours in a productive way, and others are choosing to waste those hours doing things that are not productive and are just sitting there and allowing time and life to just pass them by. Who's ready to be the creator? Who is ready to be the creator? I want to see lots of yeses below. Lots of yeses, because we've got 6 months now to fully embody and step into that creator energy. And by the end of this year, be looking back and going, wow, look at what I've achieved. I am so proud of myself. Look at everything that I have achieved. Now, I know there's quite a few of you that are on the live tonight that are in the VIP Manifesting Academy. Those of you that aren't, the doors are now open for new members to come and join the VIP Manifesting Academy. The VIP is the price of a takeaway, a monthly takeaway. Someone actually said to me the other day, actually, Jem, it's cheaper than a takeaway. She was like, fish and chips the other week cost me, fish and chips and something else was like 38 quid. So the VIP is actually, they're all going mad. Someone's at the door or something, I don't know. So she was saying it's actually cheaper now. I used to say it was the price of a takeaway. It's actually cheaper than a takeaway nowadays, ladies. And you also get a bonus when you sign up to the Academy. You get the Sacred Soul Academy for free as well. So the VIP Manifesting Academy is all to do with creating a new paradigm, your mindset, your beliefs, manifestation, the universal laws. It's all about manifestation and manifesting the life that you truly do desire and shifting into alignment to create that. The Sacred Soul Academy is to do with the spiritual development. So this is for those also that are interested in meeting your spirit guides, angel card readings, tarot cards, moonology, working with the moon energy, working with the goddess energy, meeting your spirit guides, going beyond the veil, divine feminine energy, you know, the spiritual development where you're really embodying, you know, chakra balancing, everything to do with spirituality is also then covered in the Sacred Soul Academy. Plus you do get access to, every 3 months there is a different energy healing course that I teach in there that you ladies also get to do as part of your membership. The VIP also has, and I know some of you will comment below, the Shift into Results. Now this is a program that most people charge £6,000 plus for. Now in the UK, the most I've seen it go for is 10 grand. In the US, some people charge $18,000 for this program. This is a program that I have gifted every single VIP member. So you also get access to that. And there is also an extra special sign up gift for anyone that signs up from now until the 7th of July. So if you would like more information, and if you are ready to step into your creator energy, if you are ready to have a mentor, me, in your pockets, and on a daily basis, they're supporting you. There are weekly live masterclasses. Plus we have an amazing VIP app, which is filled with extra additional content, including workbooks, courses, different courses and live masterclass replays. The shift formula is in there. The manifestation toolkit is in there. Energy healings. It's filled with different content that you have access to as just with a click of a button on your phone. You download the app, so you also get the app as an extra goodie as well. But if you are ready to start your journey, if you are ready to transform your life, change your paradigm, create a new paradigm, and manifest the life that you truly do desire, and stop going around in circles, then do message me for details and get the offer while it is on. You can also book a free discovery call with me if you would like a chat to find out a little bit more about the Academy as well. The shift has been amazing. I love that. The shift has been amazing. Join, you won't regret it. I love that, Fiona. Thank you. I've just deleted all of the games off of my phone. I absolutely love that. I'm sick of sitting on them all night. And it's so easily done, isn't it, Stevie? So easily done. And well done for doing that. I'm so proud of you. I really am. I'm so proud of you. So any of you ladies that are wanting more, whether it is in your personal life, your professional life, the Academy is suitable for everybody. So it's suitable for people that are at the beginning of their journey. It's suitable for people that have already been on a journey but maybe need help being consistent. It's suitable for people that are wanting to build their business and manifest more clients, manifest more abundance, manifest that dream relationship. Whatever it is that you are wanting to manifest in your life, the VIP will help you get there. So do message me for more details if you would like to join. So ladies, I hope you have enjoyed tonight's masterclass. I will catch up with you all soon. VIP ladies, I will see you tomorrow in the VIP for some one-to-one oracle card readings. I think that's set for 10 a.m. so I will see you then. But it's been lovely spending, I think we've been on an hour, haven't we? Nearly an hour with you ladies this evening, sending lots of love from my heart to your heart. And remember, it's time for you now to believe in yourself. Okay? It's time for you to commit to that future you. It's time for you to say no to anything now that no longer serves you. Stop making those excuses. Step into your power and start to understand you are the creator. And it is now time for you to start to create the reality that you do truly desire. Speak to you soon. Bye.